Well, it is, as you can probably hear. Let me put the little microphone a little closer. It is raining again. I am once again rained out from work. So that gives me an opportunity to install my boost gauge. I want to install this to check and see how much boost that I am getting, and also to see why it seems to be pulsating. While I'm driving, I'm holding the accelerator pedal in one position, and it feels like I'm pushing it down and letting it up, and pushing it down and letting it up. Only when you get under a big load, going up a big hill, and you got to push your accelerator down pretty far, for some reason, the boost keeps kicking out. I don't know. I think I know what it is that's causing it. I think it's the boost controller, and I think I know. I figured out a way that I can make a manual, on-the-fly adjustable boost controller so that I can adjust my boost as I'm driving. I think. Anyway, I'm not super familiar with diesels, but I'm learning. Anyway, we had to take off the doghouse. Let me show you what I'm into here. Here is the engine, of course. Had to take the doghouse off, which is a whole lot easier now that the door opener is not here in the way. That was kind of a pain to get the doghouse out from underneath, or the engine cover. I don't really know what you call it for sure, but the engine cover itself, doghouse, what have you, used to be really hard to get out of here because of the bracket that held the door opening mechanism. There was just barely enough room to wiggle it around and get it out. Now you just reach, take these bolts out, reach and grab it and pick it up. It just comes right off. Perfect. I like that. But anyway, what I have done, I have removed a heat shield from the exhaust. You can see here is the boost controller, or the blow-off valve. Whenever the boost becomes more than the blow-off valve can handle, it will open and allow the boost out through the exhaust, so you don't end up damaging anything. So you do want it to open. This is operated by vacuum, which I have an electric vacuum pump that runs from under the hood. It runs this. The vacuum line goes through a switch which will disconnect and reconnect the vacuum according to whether you need boost or not. And I think that is the problem. I think the switch itself is going bad. I tried this by plugging it directly into the vacuum, and it has plenty, from what I feel, it has plenty of power to hold that closed for boost. So it must be the switch going out or something. Anyway, now in order to install the boost gauge, we need to have access, or we need to have an input, or well, I guess it'd be an output where it's boost, in the manifold for manifold pressure, because there is no vacuum on a diesel. It is all open all the time, and when you do need power, it has boost, which means that the turbo spools up, creates boost, and pressurizes the intake. Now this piece right here comes off. I've already got it unbolted. This piece comes off. This is what splits. This is the output of the turbo right here. And here is one side of the manifold, and it probably, if I look at it, No, it feeds this head. I thought maybe it might, this one might feed that head, and this, no. This goes to this head, this side of the engine, and this part of the manifold goes to this side of the engine. It's bolted directly, you can see it bolted directly onto the head. So, what we have is a splitter right here to split the air coming out and put it into this one and into this one. You can see there's a little cone shaped thing in there. I guess that kind of makes it to where it splits evenly. So what we need to do is we need to get a port in here for a gauge. So we'll need to drill this out and tap it. Let's get to that. Okay, so this is the fitting that we need to put in right here. This is the one that needs to thread into here. And you can do it with this size. They give you two in case you have a port that you can put it into. I don't have a port. I want it as close to the turbo as I can get it, so I get a direct reading right here. So, alright, what we're going to do, I think, is put it like right here. I think that will be good. Unless it comes into contact with the cover, I don't think it will. Maybe it might be better if I put it in the back. Yeah. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it right here. That way it's coming off of the back of this piece, and it's not going to be in the way of anything. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, apparently I'm not level. I took this piece off because there are going to be metal shavings when I drill this. So I don't want the metal shavings going into the engine. Metal shavings in an engine cannot be good for it. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go about in the middle of it, somewhere like there. And whoa. Whoa. There we go. Alright, that. Okay. I'll take an air compressor and blow all that out once I get that piece threaded in. I think that's it. Now let's try our piece in it, and it should just thread down. Yeah, and it should just thread right up. Right directly against it. There is my fitting. That's for the line. Alright, now I think first thing I want to do will be go ahead and take this piece right here and make sure y'all can see that. Yep. Take this piece, put it in here. Like that. Okay. That way I don't have to fish around in there afterwards. Try to get a hold of it. ran the wire, or the hose, this kind of hose right here. I ran it from here, the back of this, all the way up under the hood. I couldn't just bring it across where this is because it would cut the line. So I ran it through a grommet that was already there, and up through all this mess. And right here is the gauge. You can see the line is running into it. It's just sitting there for right now. I don't know exactly if that's where I'm going to have it or not. I want to try it and make sure that it's working right. So this could get a little noisy, but I'm going to try starting it up and see what it does here. Alright, so it did stop. Let me just see. Seems to work fine. Alright, well, we got it installed here. What I did is I just screwed it to the side of this where the radio would normally go. I don't have a radio in here. I've got a little cubby hole to store stuff, I guess, or whatever. So I just mounted it to the side of that, and I mean, it'll hold, and I can see it good. One thing I was worried about before when I had it, I said I was going to put it down here. The thing about that is when the gear shift is down here, I can't see what my boost is, and if I'm like pulling something, like pulling a trailer or something like that, then I would want to have it down into 3 a lot of times, or 2 or whatever, depending on the hill. So if I want to monitor my boost, I can't when I really kind of need to. Now it is over here on the side. I can keep an eye on my boost at all times, no matter where this is at. The cell phone doesn't interfere with it because it's up here. So I think this is perfect, and you can still store stuff back in here. You can still get to stuff. So I think that will work just fine. Anyway, I guess that's how you install a boost gauge on a 6.5 in a van or bus. Anyway, I guess that's probably going to be about it for this video. I appreciate everybody watching, and I will see y'all on the next one.